guys, it's Syama Meagher here, CEO of Scaling Retail. Today we're going to uncover and talk about something that I think a lot of people are worried about, which is what's going to happen for holiday 2020. Now, I know a lot of brands out there, you had your purchase orders cut for the spring, for the summer. You're probably waiting to see what's going to happen in terms of buying strategies. And honestly, guys, every single buyer I've spoken to is saying, hey, we're not sure exactly how this is going to pan out. There have been a lot of conversations about shortening the buying calendar, making sure that people are buying closer to the dates that they want to have products in store. And you're probably wondering, well, how am I going to manufacture and make those goods in order to get there in time by holiday? These are really tough questions. And so let's kind of talk through a few different ways in which you can start to think about it. So the first thing to consider is that, and this is a great piece of information, is consumers are shopping. People are buying stuff. Even during the pandemic, when everyone got really crazy during those first few months of quarantine, people were still shopping. The question was, what were they shopping? And the question is how much were they willing to spend? And ultimately, were they able to actually get their products? Because a lot of stuff went missing in UPS and USPS. But the great thing to know is that consumers are shopping. Our country, the United States, is built off of consumerism. It's capitalistic. We want to shop, we want to buy things. It's in our culture. It's the ways in which we've learned to define ourselves is through the things we buy, what we do, how we spend our money. Now, when it comes to this holiday 2020, what I think is important to consider is not just will consumers be spending, but will they be buying your product? So how do you start to unpack that? Well, number one, what kind of products are you selling? Is it an essential product? Is it a fashion item? Is it an accessory product? How is this incorporated into someone's new life? I was speaking to someone the other day who was like, yeah, actually our business is going to be fully run off of Zoom and everyone's working from home. People who work for companies like Twitter are now going to be able to work from home indefinitely. People working at Airbnb, very similar. So people are changing their policies and their practices about how they look at dressing for work and going into the office. So guys, the notion that you have to wear a suit every day, the notion that you're going to have to wear high heels, all of those things are going to drastically change the way in which consumers are shopping, which is how they go to work and how do they express themselves socially. So if you're a brand out there that has really focused themselves on the area of business suits or professional heels or things that would make you look professional, whatever that category kind of looks like to you, maybe it's a briefcase, maybe it's certain kinds of ways to carry your laptop, right? Certain things like that. This is going to be a real moment for you to say, hey, is this business model actually sustainable? Do I need to be thinking about pivoting and going into other categories? Are there other ways in which I can service my customer? And I wouldn't ask yourself what's easy for me to make, right? Or what is it that is a natural fit? I would say what truly, in this true sense of a pivot here, what truly are my customers looking for? And am I willing to be able to move in that direction in order to give the customer what they want? And I think that's really where we're seeing a separateness here, right? Between here's the business and the brand I have, but then here's where the customer trajectory is. And our job as brands, as business owners, is to be agile and to move where the customer is heading, right? So that's very important to consider. For holiday 2020, retailers will still be buying product. The question is, how much product are they going to be buying? And again, will they be buying from you? A lot of retailers will be looking at their established vendor assortment. So as a new brand, you might have to get a little more creative about how you're reaching out to them. It's always been challenging, I know, but you're going to be looking at other types of online platforms. Are you on Jor, for example? Are you on Faire? Are you looking at some of these other online trade shows, right? Fashion Go. Are you on the off-price platform? What are the platforms and places that you're at that are going to really help these buyers find you, right? Are you going to send them a creative lookbook, right? Get creative about how you're getting in front of these buyers because yes, they will be buying. And chances are, if you're an existing vendor, they're buying from you. And if you're not an existing vendor, you're going to try a lot harder in order to be able to grab their attention and likely be on multiple platforms. Now, the next thing to consider is how quickly will they need their product? Now, unfortunately, because buying patterns have yet to stabilize, and gosh, we just don't know kind of when things are going to start to quote unquote come back to normal. But you're going to want to ask yourself, what's my timeline and lead for production? Do I have the capability to actually be able to produce this in a reasonable time frame? Do I need to be producing now so I can actually be ready to sell product during the holiday if people want my product? So that's a big question of finances, right? You're no longer going to have this opportunity right now to, have someone be purchasing products from you and giving yourself 6 months to get it there. Holiday 2020 is coming right around the corner. And to be honest, if you hadn't already booked those resort deliveries and that fall order already, back earlier this spring, chances are it's going to be a lot harder for you to make it full circle into those retail doors. So what do? Well, you build out your business direct to consumer. You really figure out if you're e-com ready and how you're going to digitally maximize that footprint. Then you're going to look at inventory management. What are the ways in which you should be shoring up your inventory so you can actually make some money for your DTC business, but then have inventory ready for ATS? It's really important to have ATS available because you want to be able to sell products to those retailers when they need it. So if you have the capital to be able to make these investments in your business, you actually might find yourself pivoting or growing in a way that's going to be very profitable for you for the long run. If you find yourself disadvantaged in terms of resources, it's going to be really important to you to focus on relationship building. I would not advise taking a loan out to be able to cover inventory for a just-in-case scenario. Not worth it at all. You're going to want to make sure that you are prepared for your business, so you're looking at the long run and hedging your investments wisely to make sure that you are adapting to consumer changes as well as retail buyer changes. All right, guys, that's all for me at Scaling Retail. Please send me an email at hello@scalingretail.com. Would love to be able to share with you the ways in which I can help your business adapt and change to these growing and changing times. We're not looking at a natural disaster, guys. We're looking at a new way of doing business that we'll be looking at for the foreseeable future. So the opportunity is now to be strategic, to plan, and to pivot. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.